Welcome to Otaku Recaps, your ultimate destination for epic anime summaries. Grab your popcorn, and let's dive into the world of anime. Our anime starts with a girl carrying a small child and saying that she doesn't want anyone to see this child, so she put him in front of an orphanage door and said that she will pray for him to be strong in the future. Years later, we see a person get off the train and he is put there. When he grows up, his name is Sai. He is walking on his way and meets an old woman and decides to help her. But her granddaughter comes and hits him because the idea of him bothering her grandmother. After the girl finds out the truth, she apologizes to the thief and tells him that she thought he was a thief. After that, she introduces herself and tells him that her name is Hattori and that she is a student at the magic school. When she looks at Hodu and discovers that he is also in the same school, he tells her that he is still a new transfer student, so she tells him, "That's it, from today on you will come with me every day." While they are together on the road, she asks him, "How did you meet me? And I know that the exam is for transfer students. It will be very difficult." And when she knew that he applied in this school to become one of the great magicians, she was shocked and then told him that she will stand by him, and this is because she is from the Soha Harst family who are responsible for protecting the empire, and that they made a covenant of friendship with the empire, and that if this covenant is broken it will end with the death of one of them. After they arrive at the school, she leaves him to go to her class and he will go complete the submission of the paper, and when he goes to Octo to complete the submission, he meets his supervisor there whose name is Tori, and she is the one who will be responsible for him. Then she asks all the students to stand in one line and a small creature that looks like a crow appears, and his name is Korsu, and this creature is the one who examines the students and tells them how their future will be, and the words of this creature are very honest. And after it is Octo's turn, Korsu tells him that his health condition is good, but he tells Octo that his future will be the demon lord. "What are you saying, man?" He is shocked. Akito and everyone around him are afraid of him because there is a story from 100 years ago that says that a person tried to destroy the world with a group of demon armies, and at that time this person called himself the Demon Lord. After that, Tori takes him to his class and says to him, "Look, I want you not to worry. This conversation could end in one of two things. Either you die or the students will harass you until you commit suicide." He kills the person standing there. "What are you saying, you crazy girl?" After that, he goes and kills his class. Hattori turns out to be in the same class with him. When he enters to introduce himself to everyone, everyone is afraid of him because the rumors have spread. Akito tries to defend himself, but it is useless. When the conversation ends and the class ends, Akito is still thinking of how he will change the students' view of him, or at least make Hattori believe him. At that time, Tori asks them if she would like to make Hattori the class president again. No, but a student named Mio says to the supervisor that they need to hold elections because he wants Octo to be the class president this time, and this will be a good opportunity to prove that he is not evil or anything, but Octo refuses and says that he does not want to and prefers to be in a cleaning team in the school. At that moment, Hati feels insulted and goes to fight with Makita, saying that he broke his promise to her in order to insult her. Everyone is shocked that there is a promise between them at all, and Hati grabs her sword to hit him, and he was running away from her. Every student was encouraging whoever he wanted until Akita grabs his sword. Suddenly, a huge energy explodes in the place, and Tori asks the students to hide quickly, and this terrible explosion happens because of Akita's power, and he himself could not believe it. After the situation happens, all the students return to their dorms, and Mio is with Akita in the same dorm, and he is also happy about what happened and happy Octo's strength. But Octo asks him that he wants to go to the girls' dormitory to isolate himself with Hattori, and when he goes there and looks out the window at her, she thinks that Hattori came to annoy her, so she starts yelling at him and throws him out of the window to the ground. She goes after him to hit him again, and he runs away from her as usual, and the whole old man was watching them, and when he runs away from her, he goes to a place in the forest and meets the girl who protects the school, and she thinks that he came to her because he is her prince and she must protect him. 3/4 of the characters in this anime go to them. In the end, Hattori arrives behind her and wants to hit him, but this girl stands in front of her and tries to push her away from Octo. He starts defending himself, showing his morning power and destroying the whole area, literally. The girl who protects me thinks that this power comes out of her, and she is happy. While she is talking, a strange light appears and a girl named Corny comes out of it, and she says that she is the supervisor, takes a gun and shoots Hattori with it. The strange thing is that she comes back to life, but Acta is shocked because this Curon is actually a human being. When Hattori wakes up, she starts crying and takes some of her time and walks quickly out of embarrassment. When Acta tries to go after her, Korn stops him and says that she will discuss with Hattori later. She told him that the school principal has lost her eye on Acta's supervisor, and told him that she needs to interrogate and answer the girl who is carrying this school. When the girl heard this, she disappears and runs away quickly. When Acta asks Korn who this is, she tells him that her name is Saka. Acta thought her name was at that time because she was with him in the same class and she was absent from his first day. They take Korn. The principal catches him and discusses his intention to be easy Hattori. If he is not wrong, then he leaves the principal's room and the supervisor Tori takes him. And she wants him to tell her what happened in the class, so he tells her that he used all his power to take Tori's sword and defend himself. After that, Tori gave him a small reference and told him that this reference is magical and he can communicate with anyone. When he finishes talking to her, Acta returns to the dorm and Corny stays with him because she keeps watching him all the time. The next day, he is at school with Mio and meets the head of the girls' dorm, whose name is Ito. She told him that she found out what happened with Corny and welcomed him and told him to call her if he needed any help. When Acta goes out to the class, Hattori and Saka are absent and the whole class sits looking at Corny, who walks with Acta everywhere. After the class ends, Acta goes to the bathroom and calls Kirie. He asks her to let Hattori meet him so he can isolate himself to her. Kirie agrees and tells him to meet her at Mount Ota. When he told her that Corny, he kept watching her, so she said to him, "Look, Corny has a certain tail. If you pull it, it stops on its own and doesn't work when someone turns it on again." When he and Corn were walking, they saw a mutant dog with magical powers, but suddenly the dog returned to its normal state and was happy because he was finally able to control his magical powers. He was waiting for Ito to think about how he would stop Corny. He kept following her until he pulled her tail. She stopped. Then he met Ito and told him that when Corny came back, she wouldn't remember anything that had happened. She also told him that Hattori was very stubborn, but she was worried and that she might agree to meet him to apologize to her, but she would have to be a little careful. She gave him a magic medicine and told him that whoever takes this medicine knows the feelings of the person in front of him. She told him to put this medicine in a gun and shoot Hattori with it to know her feelings towards him. When she left, he was thinking about how kind his sister was because, at that time, Hattori was at home thinking about what happened and found him calling her. She asked her about her condition and why she was absent today. Hattori told her that she was really embarrassed after what happened, so Ito told her that Acta wanted to meet her, and if she refused, she could tell him that she refused, but the surprise was that Hattori agreed and told her that she wanted to end this conversation. After the call ended, she found him sitting in a strange place talking to a man in a jar called Oni. She told him that they were both a little girl and that Acto would be her slave. She told him that he trusted her and remembered Ito and her life when she was young with her brother Oni. One day, she did not find him, so she went to ask her mother and told her that he failed in his mission and died, so she should not look for him again. She told Odo that instead of being upset with him, she should go to his place and be stronger. At that time, she said that her strength was going well with dark magic and that Octai is the one who will destroy the world in the future. At that time, Octa and Mei are sitting in a sauna together and Mei is still talking about the rumors he hears and that Octa defeated Hattori. There are rumors that Octa is seducing his girls' dorm leader, who is a 2, but of course these are rumors and none of them are true. The students say that Acta is walking on both sides of the school. When Acta asked who these two sides are, Mei told him that the school is divided into 2 parts. The first part consists of students who work in a secret movement and use black magic in bad deeds, but they do not know who their leader is. However, this black magic is forbidden to use in the first place, so the second part comes, which is represented by Hattori and the students with her, and they are trying to defeat these black magic students because Hattori has a high sense of justice. After Acta leaves the sauna, A2 calls him. She tells him that she arranged an appointment for him with Hattori and the next day he goes to write the disciplinary team instead of the cleaning team because Otto offered it to him and he agreed, but he doesn't know that the unique belongs to the black part, or in other words the part that uses black magic, and he got to know people there including the council president Riri and the deputy Mishi and the treasurer Kana and the secretary Orno. After he submits the paper, he leaves it and walks. Adahana returns to get the gun and the medicine and thinks about how he will stop Corny, but at that time, Saka enters to ask Adaha to keep her plate of sweets with him because she is not allowed to eat these things in school. They sat talking until Acta was choked by Saka and walked away. After she left, Acta got up to walk and pulled the Corny to stop her. He goes to the place where Adaha read to him, but at that time someone comes from behind him and beats him up. After that Octo starts and finds some students trying to beat him up, so he starts hitting them hard and is defeated. When they ask why they are attacking him, they say because he is on the disciplinary committee and is supposed to expect any attack at any time. Mom comes out from with them and is devastated from the amount of beating they gave him. They call him Octo, but this makes Octo even more angry and he hits her harder. But at that moment, Hattori enters and sees what he did. She tells him that she saw him for what he was, and he feels that he can no longer withdraw from her and that she saw the other picture of him. When he pulls out the gun to hit her at that moment, he finds the bullets are gone and is shocked by what he saw. This increases the issue with Hattori and he can no longer stand him. Is it possible that she planned all of this from the beginning? Is it possible that she is the reason for what is happening between Hattori and Octo? She is talking. Hatri was with him at that time and told him that she was not up to his strength, yes, but she would do the impossible to defeat him even if she killed herself, and that he was preparing because she would gather all the students of the school to attack him, and when she left he took Actimio to treat him. At that time, ATT was watching them through the magic crystal, and when Oni asked her what the medicine was that she gave him, she told him that it was pills that made them swear loyalty to her. Yes, my daughter, the genie, so all of this was planned by you from the beginning, or the sister of this idiot who thought you were good all this time until now by your life. And when he returned, he fought the house. He opened Corny to treat Mio and told her what happened. Corny told him that she did not see anything, so she would not be able to punish him, but he must bear the responsibility, and he agreed that he bear the responsibility, so he went to Supervisor Tori, and Supervisor Tori said to him that Tori told her everything, and Tori told him at that time that he surrenders and prepares for his death, and she was very happy, and this crazy girl is happy because she told him that after he dies she will conduct research on his body and use magic and bring him back to life again. She does not treat him gently like a human being and treats him gently like a laboratory mouse. Your sister is confused because he wants to win the fight that will happen between him and Tori, but the destruction will increase in the school, and at the same time he wants to keep quiet, but the students will not leave him alone, and at night Tori prepares herself to fight him and thinks that he will affect her, and that she wants him, but she always changes her idea that she admires him because he is the demon lord. The next day Hattie was standing with an army of students to attack Acta and announced that she will fight because he tried to control the school to be the beginning of his control over the world, and that this attack will be for 1 hour only. In Acta he watches and listens to everything that is said, and when Mio comes out to help him just as Acta helped him, he refuses and tells him that he will try to escape this hour, and that's it. Acta kept running away until he got to the roof of the school and went after Tori. She told him that he won't be able to escape from her, and even if he escapes, there are many others who will attack him. He asked her for a time to stop even though he knows that she doesn't listen to him. Then when he tried to defend himself and found that he doesn't know how to use his strength and that he will die, Tori told him that she has no other solution to prevent his control and she has to kill him today. At this time, Sauka enters and turns the subject on Tori to stop this war and says that Tori did all this talk because she was upset with her lover, who is Acta. The students, as soon as they hear this, start to get angry with Tori and prepare to attack both Acta and Tori. When Acta asked her what she would do, she told him that she had no choice but to admit her mistake, and when they were still defending themselves, Korn appeared and threw a spell and a gun, and when Acta asked Sokka what she did, she told him that she took the medicine she had with her and mixed it with the candy she had hidden with him and had Korn throw it with a cannon at the students, and that this medicine would make the students submissive for a short period, and Korn told him that when she analyzed the medicine, she found that it was a type of black magic, but its effect was not very fast, it lasted for half a day only, and thus Acta discovered Atu's plan, but her plan failed because of Sokka and Korn's help. The next day, the students were standing in the schoolyard, and Supervisor Tori asked them to form groups of 2 to train their strength, and Acta asked Mio to be his partner, but Mio refused and told him that he was not as strong as them. They were talking and Ada was watching them from afar, and she seemed mad at Akate and thinking how to make him swear loyalty to her with another plan, and Akate and Mio were still talking and Akate told Mio to go and train with Sokka, but Mio told him that she is useless in magic and does not know how to train and so on, and Akate understood that no one knows her ability to invisibility except him. After that, Akate remained standing alone without a partner, and Tori came and asked him why he and Eve were doing this and that he was getting ready to train with her. They began to train and Tori told him that the goal of training is to control magic. She threw a magic ball at him and he told her that this dialogue is easy and that he can control his power normally. He threw the ball at her calmly, but the ball exploded and detonated the whole magic. After that, Akate remained sitting alone until the supervisor came and asked Akate about Tori's solution. She told him that she was fine, but she fainted from the shock. Sold Hazard about what happened, and the supervisor told him that he needs to control his strength and mind very well, so as not to expose his colleagues to danger. She suggested to him at that time that he go to the meditation room and control the mind and strength. In the end, Acti will be forced to go, even against his will. Acti returns home and prepares the things he needs of food and drink. Korn was watching him and told him that she will come with him, but he refused and told her that this is a meditation room and I have to be in it alone. But she went with him happily. At the time, OKT was going to a meditation session. It was 8 thinking that this was her chance to make AK follow her. When Oksa reached his room, it was empty and a very ordinary room, but there were signs on the wall to help him. But while he was talking to Corny, he saw something walking in front of him, and when he grabbed it, it came out as a souk. She was hiding and sitting in the room from the beginning, and so Act remained sitting with Karen and Sokka in the room, not knowing whether to meditate or do anything. When Act leaned his back against the wall, there was a map behind his back, and when he read what was on it, it was written that the treasure would appear after the person collected the 3 keys that were required of him. Sokka was happy because she thought that she would take a gun like the one with the chairs, and at that time, ATT was standing outside holding her gun, saying that she had to hit Act with this shot, and this shot triggered a hallucination, and then she would let him in so that he would swear loyalty to her. But that did not happen because Sokka kept crying for Act to take her to the bathroom, so she kept knocking on the door until ATT opened it for her. And when she saw the map in Octa's hand, she took it from him, thanked him, and left quickly. Octa was surprised by her reaction. The strange thing returns Ito to her cat, and enters the same strange place that was in her brother's head and asks him if he knows this map or not. But he told her that he doesn't remember anything since his memory was erased before he died. The next day, Ito is in school and thinking about what happened yesterday and how her brother doesn't remember anything. A girl comes and stands next to her at this time and says to her, "I'm sorry that you can't make Act afraid of you." Ito believes him because no one knows what she is doing to me. How did this girl know? Ito smiles at this time. Are you from here, from school? The girl responds and tells her, "Don't worry, I have permission to enter the school." Then she leaves her and walks. She hears "at" and the sound is a lot of noise from the students. When she goes to see what is happening, she finds a picture of the map stuck everywhere in the school. She gets very angry and goes to her room but doesn't find anything. The map and returns to school again. After that, she goes to fight with Octai because she thinks he is the one who stole her map, but he tells her that he does not know anything. He then tells her that he knows who stole the map because he found Sokka printing the map and sticking it everywhere in the school. When Octai asks her what she is doing, Sokka tells her that she is helping the students to get the treasure. When he returns to his class, he stays there and Bella tells her that there are many injured students. He writes that there are more than 18 injured who were attacked because of a monster when they went to look for the treasure. When Octai goes to the disciplinary committee, he meets President Riri and tells her that they are holding a meeting to announce that it is forbidden to look for the treasure because it is very dangerous. When Octai comes to speak in the meeting, no one believes him because they think that he is doing this till he takes the treasure alone. Everyone turns against him and suddenly a girl appears, and she is the same girl who met Tita in the morning, and she knew her plan, and she says to him, since searching for the treasure is dangerous, none of us believe you. You can go look for the treasure to prove your words, and everyone agrees, and he agrees too. She was about to leave, but he stops her and asks her name, so she tells him that her name is Echo. After that, he goes to kill the disciplinary office to get ready and get permission to go. She calls his cell. When they meet, she gives him a gun and tells him that there is a magic bullet that will help him defend himself if he is in any danger. Suddenly, Echo comes to him again and tells him that she will go with him. They walk at night and arrive at a place like a crypt. She takes the map's key and reads what is in it. She reads words like a spell, and suddenly she hears a voice from inside the crypt. When they enter the crypt, it is made up of many graves. This is the graveyard of the people who died in the last war, and a kite said that they must search for the graveyard whose name is written on the map. Suddenly, a very strong wind appears and asks them to leave from here instead of dying, but Aiko acts brave and goes to fight her, but unfortunately, she returns defeated. At that time, he takes out the gun he has with him and shoots at the wind. Indeed, the wind disappears from the place. The graveyard they are looking for appears behind them at that time, and Yamato's name is written on it. At the same time, Hattori went to Akite's room to look for him, but she did not find anyone. She went to Sukka's room and woke her up. She asked her where his sister was. Sukka told her what happened in the meeting. When Hattori found out that Aiko went with Akite, she was shocked and quickly went out to go to them. We will return again to Akite. When he found the grave, he opened it and took out a small talking toy. This game was for Oni, Ito's brother, and this was the communication link between them when they were young. At that time, Ito was seeing everything from her magic crystal, and her brother Ras told her that he remembered this game, and she got angry at him and said to him, "So you remember this game and you don't remember the map?" But he replied and told her that he really didn't remember her. Suddenly, Ida heard a knocking sound in the room and Sokka appeared and was happy when she saw this magic crystal. At that time, Sokka asked Ida to go there to Acta because if she went, she would be able to know more information about her brother. Fata agreed. We go back to Acta again. When they continue on their way, they enter the village and it is destroyed because of the war. They see a shield in the shape of a madam, but Octa says that it is a statue and it will not move at all, but at a moment the shield rises and attacks Octa. At that time, he is able to use his true strength after he was able to control by them and after the shield escaped from them. Echolite Mobile was there, and when Acti saw the mobile, they opened it so that she could continue on their way and that after they reached the right place, he should put his fingerprint on the mobile in order to register it and asked Acti where the running caves were that they were supposed to go to and no one knew, so she took out a crane from her bag like a device that tells them the areas, and they continued walking behind her until they reached the cave. It was a normal cave, but inside it was a lake and they were supposed to pass through it in order to go to the other side, and Acti was going down in it in order to go at the same time. They were going to run into the lake, and when she heard a voice, she grabbed her sword and prepared to attack but stopped when she saw Octa, and when she found Echo with him, she asked Octa to stay away from her and told him that she was an agent sent by the Empire. After that, Echo finds a key on the other side of the lake and gives the key, and after that she walks quickly. The two of them sit and talk, and Hattori tells him that AKO is a rival agent of hers. And when they find Sukka and Yato entering, he asks him, "What are you doing here?" She asks Ito to show her what he has, so he takes out his mobile, the game, and the key. When Ito opens the key, she suddenly disappears into a strange circle, and they all enter with her. The faces of the circle meet the head of the system committee, Riri, and they are shocked that all of this was a game from her and they succeeded in it. But Keita does not care about that and continues until she reaches a place like a castle, and when Act was about to go after her, Riri stops him and tells him that this is the place of the old demon lord, and that if the old and new lords meet like this, he will prove through his investigation that his time is the future lord, and he does not want this. When she reaches him and takes the steps and registers his fingerprint, a dragon appears to her and tells her that she is the one who activated his system, and that she must have the qualifications and be strong. Even if she is not qualified, he will kill her. When she focuses on the eye of the dragon, this fixes her brother's life in the past and the way he died, and they all saw this with her. At that time her sister decided to help Ayata and did not care about the result and went to fight the dragon, and Hattori joined him and told him that she will help him, and when he defeats the dragon, Octai asks him his name and he tells him that his name is Peter Zahn. Then the dragon says to Octai that he can change his name at any time, and Octai does not understand anything the dragon speaks and says to him, "Since I woke up, I will need a leader to guide me." and since Acte defeated me he will be my leader. He insists the dragon that Octai stays with him, and she keeps making fun of him. He tells her, Octai, shut up, I didn't need all of this, I wanted to finish my high school in peace. At that time Corny is talking with old people, and they ask her to sign a sister by saying that he loves her and that they will leave her freedom of action, but if she failed, she would bear the responsibility. When she asked if her punishment would be expulsion or not, one of them told her that they would talk about this matter later. After a while, one day was held for students called the beach school, and the students went to play and have fun together. Octa was sitting with Sokka by the beach at that time because he was forbidden to go with the students. Suddenly, Corny came behind him and started doing strange things. Octa had been noticing that she was doing these things for a while, and he remembered when the supervisor told him that he was forbidden to go to the beach with the students. He was upset because he wanted to have fun and was thinking about what the students would do there. Now, Corny told him what they were doing there and started to behave with him in a strange way. She got closer to him every now and then because she was waiting for him to love her, but he wasn't interested in her at all except that she was his supervisor. Corny told him that he could go there and that she would be responsible for him. The next day, Corny when his friend hit him, so he went to the beach and he was suffocated from her actions and asked her why she was doing this, and she told him the truth and that she wanted him to love her, so he told her that he doesn't see her except as his watch. But after that he changes the subject with her and tells her that they are late for school, and when he goes to school he gets even more annoyed with Octa because of Corny's actions, and when he gets tired of her he goes to his cat and goes inside a circle, and suddenly he goes to the place of the dragon. Pete surprised the dragon and is surprised that he came to him now, and Octa told him that he came here to escape from Corny. After that we see Octa and Sokka sleeping next to Peter, and Peter told him that Sokka or the human sleeps next to him and is not afraid, so Octa tells him that Sokka has a special and childish personality, and Octa talks to him and someone hits him behind his back and they imagine jealousy because of the words he said about Sokka, and when he intervenes Peter gets upset and tells him to leave him alone. Later we see Akita on the beach and Hattori standing in front of him, upset, and they fight like every time over trivial things. After he left, he followed her to apologize to her, and she told him that since she must accept his apology, she will spend the day with him. They decided that they would go play in the water, and Sokka went with them. They started playing and having fun. They all played, and Sokka caught a sea cucumber and played with it, but Hattori was scared because she didn't like it. When Sokka threw it at Hattori, Hattori started screaming and grabbed Akita's neck to help her. After that, she felt embarrassed and moved away from him. She told him that even if she was scared, she wouldn't ask him for help, but he helped her and told her that he felt comfortable with her, like the first time she met him. He told her that because of her mood, someone at school thought that his presence was in her hands and that he was not able to feel comfortable with her lately. Then she asked him why he calls Second normally but treats her with respect, and that she also believed him and that he should call her normally without nicknames. While they were talking, Korn came from behind Hattori and started bothering her. Acta was startled and asked her why she bothers people, and if she is watching then she has nothing to do with anyone, and how could she cause him embarrassment like this. She apologized to Korn and left him, and when Hattori asked him what was wrong with her, he told her that he does not know. After they finish, they go out to the sea, but all the time Acta felt that someone was watching them. Acta, Sokka and Hator watched Myo while he was going behind Acta. They asked Acta where he was going, and Acta told him that this area is his original village and he was going home. When Acta asked why he was not allowed to go to the sea, Myo told him that the villagers have a legend about the Demon Lord, and that if the Demon Lord went to the sea, he would be warned that a demonic monster would appear in the middle of the sea at night. Lacta said that these were superstitions invented by the villagers, and that they had no basis in truth. Myo started yelling at Lacta and told him that he didn't feel this because he was strong and left. Octi stood trying to understand what had happened and what his strength had to do with this legend. At that time, Ito was standing with the dragon Peter and telling him about her dreams, and enjoying herself until Riley came in and told her that she had good news. She told her that the student council decided that they would provide a place for Lacta, and that Peter's presence in this place was illegal, but he would remain as he was. She told them that Kern was being used by disabled people to bring down Octi. She also told her that there were discussions between the Supreme Judge and the Ministry of Magical Intelligence to use methods to combat black magic. Ito replied that this was good news, but that was it. She will be their enemy because Ito works with his dark magic. Riri replied to her and said, "What did the High Command say? She will fight his dark magic no matter what." Before Riri left, she said that she found out that she will keep this conversation between them a secret. After she left, the dragon said that Riri is a very active girl and that he will listen to her and will keep this conversation a secret. When Ida opens her mobile to call Acta, she finds that she is not allowed to call him. They return again to Acta and sit on the school stairs. Apple Suka is there and they sit talking. Suka tells him what happened with Ito and that she does not know how to call him and that there are people who are like Purbo. After that, she takes out a juice from his cup and tells him that it tastes really good and she will make him try it. When Acta takes the cup from her and smells her, he finds that there is alcohol in it. She stands in front of him unbalanced and drunk, until she falls asleep next to him. Suddenly, the Corniche comes from behind him and starts hitting him and asks him, "Why did you do this?" She tells him that there is no time and she was still going to finish her words, but they heard the sound of gunfire and he looked at the Corniche and believed her when he found her falling to the ground, and he wrote that the bullet really hit her, and after the bullet hit the Corniche, he ran to her to help her, but she told him that she is fine but wanted to ask him a question, and the Corniche asked him if he loved Sokka or not, but he ignored her question, and when he tried to help her she told him that she is fine and he sold her a part of it, but she kept telling him that she failed and that the mission of monitoring him was over, and she opened the door of magic, and when she entered she disappeared inside, and after that she woke up from the hysteria she was in, and when she saw what happened she told Acta that she remembered when she met him and told her that the Corniche had ordered her to make Acta fall in love with her, and that if she failed in this mission then she will take revenge on Rabida. At that time, he understands her sister. Why is she saying that she failed and she must leave? At that time, May had arrived at his house and his sister came to sit with him, telling him that his father and mother were living with the neighbors, and when she asked her brother that there was really a demon lord with them, he replied and said to her, "Yes, and he is also my friend." So his sister told him, so what he said about his future is true, and that Myo is the hero. But at that time, Myo listens to the neighbors talk and that they make fun of him because it is impossible for him to be a hero and he is a coward, so Myo got upset and walked and told his sister that he will return to the residence again the next day. At that time, he hears that someone wants to meet him. When he goes, it is Myo's sister asking him if he is the demon lord or not, but he told her that he is not, but people say that about him. Suddenly, Myo enters and asks Yuko's sister, "Why did you come here?" When his sister knows that she is Myo's sister, he is surprised by her question if Myo talent or not. Akta answers her and tells her, "No," because Myo doesn't want it to be like this. Yukio coughed and walked at that time, and Myo and Sokka went after her. When Okita was left alone with Hattori, she asked him, "Why did you do this? You don't understand anything." He told her that he did this because he understands Myo well. Myo wants to be the hero, but he is afraid to tell everyone because he knows that he is a coward. At that time Myo was still looking for his sister and did not find her standing with Sokka in front of a lake, and she told him that she did not know that he was the hero, but he told her that he is not a hero at all, and that the legend says that there is a cave under this lake, and that there is a stone inside this cave with a sword, and whoever pulls the sword will be the hero, and he told her that this legend is what his family, his ancestors, made a long time ago, and he thinks that these are just superstitions. Suddenly he hears his voice. When he goes to see him, there is a strange person and he is doing terrifying things like this, and he came out like a monster from the middle lake. Myo saw his sister standing there, but when the man saw her, he said that the girl must die because she saw what he was doing. When Myo went to defend her, he hit her and then threw her into the lake. When Yukio saw what happened, she fainted from the shock. At night, when Oktai and Hitai arrived and saw what happened, and that Yuki and Sokka were tied up, they wanted to attack the man, but he was talking to them at that time and said to them, "I will introduce myself. My name is Mr. X." He continued his words, telling him that he expected Oktai to understand what happened clearly, and Oktai understood that this person was the one who was chasing him yesterday after they came out of the sea, and he did not know who. X told him that he was waiting to have the honor of the Lord watching him kill Yuki and Sokka, just as he killed Mio, and this was of course a shock to Acta, and he got angry and went to hit X to take his luck from him. He wished Sokka that he was not X was watching the village gang. They both started hitting each other. X was using his loud voice magic. Hato was watching while protecting Yuki and Sokka. She said that he was supposed to write magic, and its power wouldn't be affected by X's hits. At that time, Mio was underwater thinking that he was a coward and didn't know how to protect his sister or his friend. He didn't have to die this way. When he reached the bottom, he actually found the cave he was talking about a while ago. The face of this cave was in the sword mentioned in the legend. When he tried to get it out, he couldn't because all he could think about was that he wasn't the hero. But when he calmed down and felt inside that he was actually the hero, he pulled the sword with ease. At that time, he was called the Brave One. We go back again to the war above between Octa and X. Finally, Octa understood what X's true power was, and he also knew that he could use the same power. He could actually hit X with his power and block his attacks, but a strange light appears and hits X very hard. Korn appears and says to him, "You don't know how to do anything without me." Acti is surprised that she came back and asks her how. Corny tells him that she made a new deal. After that, she told them that X is a member of the magical intelligence and that his actions are inappropriate and that he must die now. Acti said that he really did, but the monster in the middle of the lake is still there. The monster is entering the villagers to kill them. When they all went to get rid of it, a strange creature appeared and destroyed the monster in seconds. It was Mew. After that, Mew returned to his normal form. Acti was shocked because he thought that he was dead, but Mew told him everything that happened. When they returned home, Korn tells him that the Magical Intelligence Bureau knows that there is someone who breaks the rules like X, and she used this to threaten them and get Annie back to her mission. Annie returned as a watcher for Lactia and said that her plan is not to love him, but to guide him to a good person. He loves him. She asked him in this way that he marries Hattori, and Hattori was very shocked and left them and ran out like an idiot. So he said to her, "Act, why would I love someone who doesn't love me?" Korn said to him that she has a feeling that Echo is interfering with someone at this time, and that person is the same one who erased Oni's memory, Ito's brother, and she said to him, "Wasn't October supposed to die?" He replied and told her that October should have killed him, so he opened the door of the tomb of the old lord, but it is clear that he was not the one who opened it, and that the future changed and October is now the one who writes the new future. He replied, "I am telling you, your words are complicated, and I do not understand anything from you, but next time let's torture Hattori." He said to her, "The matter between you and Hattori is up to you to solve by yourself." Echo leaves him and walks, and they go to Luxa, who is in the school playground under the tree, and he thinks about when he was in the orphanage 10 years ago. He met a little girl before what is walking and she was crying, and in order to stop her fatigue, she cut off an expensive hairpin and told her that he will meet her when she grows up and he will know if she keeps wearing this pin. His thoughts are interrupted by Suka, who comes and sits next to him and says to him, "When is your birthday?" He told her that he does not know when his real birthday is, but he considered that his birthday was the first day he entered the orphanage and she was talking with it. Look at the hairpin in her hair. It is the same hairpin that he gave to the little girl before, so she took it at the right time. "We did not get wet before when we were young." Suka told him that she does not remember, and he told her about the conversation that happened 10 years ago and asked her where she got the hairpin from. She told him that she does not remember and completed her words and said to him, "Anyway, I came to invite you to my birthday at the same time." But when Otto was in the place where the dragon was, Peter was sitting and was still thinking about how she would make Suka fight over her and watching the monster in water and finds a big monster egg, so she takes it, but Peter enters at that time and asks what she is doing. So she told him that the monster above the ground wakes up, so she came down here to see if the monsters underground are awake or not, and indeed her predictions are correct because they are awake, so Peter tells her at that time that now after the master, who is ATT, woke up, all the monsters woke up with him, and these monsters have very great strength. The next day, Octa, Mew, Sokka, and Corny are gathered together, and Octa and Mew are watching TV, and it shows news about the monster and the new hero who is just emerging, and this hero is called Brave and no one knows who he is. Sokka and Corny were sitting behind, and Sokka was eating the rice that Corny makes. After she finishes, she says that she is going to sleep, and when she walks, Octa asks why Sokka is always absent from school, so he tells him Mew that everyone thinks she is ridiculous and useless because she does not have any magical power. Acti gets very nervous and tells them that he does not believe that the people who will rule the country in the future will judge people by their magical skills. Acti and Kern sit and discuss the power of magic and how it comes in. Acti gets nervous and says that he wants to have a high position to change the world to a better place, and Mew is watching them, and after he leaves, Mew starts thinking about what Octet said, which is the same thing that the Demon Lord said 100 years ago, and that Mew is Oct's right arm. He should be happy that we will return again. Act and goes down from his dorm and goes to school, and when he saw Sokka he went to her and said to her, "Come with him." She asked him, "Where are we going?" He told her, "Because we will attend classes today," but in seconds the fairy girl evaporated from the place. When he returns at night and tells Kern what happened, she told him that he is not supposed to grow up, and if she wants to attend, she will attend. The next day, Act is sitting at school and Bella is in Sokka. She tells him that he must attend her birthday party, but he comes to her and tells her that he doesn't want to go out with the girl that everyone makes fun of, and that he won't let her put rice in his room again. He does all this to try to make her attend classes again. When he feels that she is upset, he tells her, "No, it's fine, you can do whatever you want." But she surprised him and told him that what he said was true and that she was happy. After that, Act meets Hattori. When she saw what happened between him and Sokka, she told him that he shouldn't pressure her. He told her that he really thinks that forcing her won't bring any results. After that, Hattori told him that she won't be able to help him and left him. When Hattori went to her dorm, she kept arguing with herself because of the way she treated him and that she was embarrassed because she was still thinking about the horny proposal of marriage. We go back again and find it when she took the egg and went to sit with her brother's head. She kept putting her magic on the egg to make it hatch, but it didn't hatch, so she poured the egg and slept. Then Sokka entered in disguise and took the egg and went back to the house to make rice on it. When she wakes up, she is looking for the egg, but her brother tells her that the egg started to fly and came out of the window, and she knew immediately that Sokka was the one who took it. We go to Sokka, who was sitting with Corny and Kata, and they were surprised by the size of the egg. When Kata holds it, the egg suddenly changes to a bigger size, and it hatches and a big chick comes out of it, and a magical monster appears. Kata was trying to escape from it. After that, the angel Ito comes and tells them and that she brought this monster for Kato's sake, but at a moment, this monster pounces on her and keeps pecking at her. When a kite defends her with his magic power, the monster increases in size and flies away. When people see this, they start screaming in terror. When Mio saw what happened, he took on the position of the brave man and put on his magic suit and went to kill this monster. The people were happy and glad that the brave man came to save them. After they finish this dialogue, he goes to Ox the next day to Riri and tells her that there is a problem, that they produced a monster, but Riri tells him that this is not a big problem, and since there is no serious harm to the school, then it is okay. He thanks her. When he leaves the office, he meets Saka and she tells him that she will attend classes again. After she leaves, he looks beside him at the paper and finds that the second day is a day off. At that time, Hattori was sitting with Corny and asked her if she was serious about this marriage topic or not. Corny told her that she talked to her family and they agreed. He will dream of a date to meet a kite in. At that time Hattori was shocked because Cornelia did all this behind her back and no one knew anything after that. Hattori was at school talking to her family about the wedding meeting, but her family told her that Akti is a follower of hatred and if he wants to join Hattori's boys, he must have the same beliefs. Her father told her that he will be waiting for them. After he closed the door, Hattori sat thinking about what to say. Akti kept doing strange things at school while talking and answering herself as if she was Hattori and Akti in order to know how to say these words in the meeting. I wonder how this meeting will go and what will happen to Akti next, and will the legend be proven? All of this and more we will see in the next part.
Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.